Well, as we already know, we're not just going to jump into everything. We need opportunities that are clear and we need to be well prepared. So with this trend continuation strategy, all we need is a day that gives us clear reference. That's all we need. And then simply means not every day is going to be a day to be in the market. However, there are many different assets. So at least each day you can find one or two assets that will be ready. When you look at a day like this, we have a high and we have a low. However, this day tells us nothing. We only need days that gives us information. Let's say the following day they do something like this, they come and do, and they go all the way up and they come and close here. Now we can work with this day simply because we have this low over here and we have this high over here. These are important areas, and not only that, we also have some crucial information over here. They broke the high of yesterday. This automatically qualifies to be what we call a trend day. And that's what we are looking for each and every day. So this day here we did nothing. This day here again we did nothing. So in the evening when we analyze, we're gonna look at this day and say, oh yes, now we have something to work on from tomorrow. So what are we looking for? We are looking for a buy low opportunity. Buy low. I know most of the time we hear these words, but we don't really know what they mean, right? So here's what they mean. The following day we are waiting for prices to retrace. Now if you look at this, we have some crucial area here. Sorry, this is a crucial area. Why? Because it's the high of this day. I haven't mentioned days here because it doesn't matter which day it is. So this is the high of this day. It's mostly gonna act as what? As support or resistance or a key area for us, right? So we are looking for them to at least give some form of pattern or behavior here. Then we buy so that it goes up. You see, we are buying low. They came and gave us a buy opportunity, and there's something I'm going to show you in a moment. However, I'm not going to mention it now. Look at this again. Here we need something like a pattern. It doesn't matter if it's a rectangle, head and shoulder, whatever pattern. As long as we get a pattern here and then they break it and go to the upside, and obviously they will be inside the EMA of 21. The EMA used here is 21, right? They'll be inside, and we need an engulfing candle. We need a pattern and an engulfing candle, and we need them to break to the upside to confirm that now they are going up. Then we buy low, and of course this is our first target. The high of the previous day becomes our first target. And then again, I said it's advisable to open more than one positions. If you open two, dividing the lot size, I'm not saying risk more, I'm saying divide your size into two, and then one will take here and the other you'll hold to the close, because most of the day they're gonna close far from the high of the previous day. So this is the day we take. This is the day we take. So on this day we had nothing. On this day we had something like reference, and this day is the day we actually take. So this day again on itself qualifies again to be a trend day. So what will we be looking for the next day? Obviously, before we go there, we must know that we have a low here, and now we have the high here. You see, you can draw lines or use an indicator. Personally, I use an indicator for this, just for the highs and the lows. I don't need indicators that influence my decision. I want prices to influence my decision, right? So the next day again we are looking for the same thing. We are looking for a collapse to at least key areas. There are different types of key areas. You see here, they bounced, they pull back a little bit and bounce. This creates a key area. Again here they did the same. This creates a key area again. So we just need to know that this mini bounce here is a key area. This mini bounce here again is a key area, because this creates some form of support and resistance. Then we are anticipating them to come to any, they can come to any, please bear that in mind, they can come to any key area, and we want them to at least start bouncing on it and giving what we call a pattern. Then when we get a pattern somewhere here, it doesn't matter what kind of pattern, it could be a triangle, it could be a rectangle, whatever pattern it is, it doesn't really matter, right? And then we want them to break to the upside and give us a engulfing candle. Most of the time you can let them go, they'll come and bounce, and when they give an engulfing candle here, that's where we take it all the way back up again. You see, one target obviously will target on the close, on the high of the previous day, and one you'll hold till the close. However, for the one you're holding to the close, you can trail your stops. Don't have to allow them, if they are coming all the way back inside, to eat your profits. You can trail your stops, and I believe by now you know that when you are trailing you need to get like a swing low if they are going up to trail to, right? So this again qualifies to be a trend day. However, not every day is gonna comply. Let's just look at this example here quite quick. We have the high again here, right? And we have the low again here. In this week we had two opportunities. However, you have to know that the higher you go, most likely there are stops all the way down, and some of these stops will be closed at some point. So what we do is actually we pay close attention to what's happening. Remember, we spoke about the buy low opportunity, right? It's not always gonna be a buy low opportunity, right? If they come down like this to a key area again and give us a pattern, break out of it, give us a pullback and an engulfing candle, we're gonna take it all the way back to the upside. You see why? Because this again qualifies to be a buy low. This is a buy low. However, it's not always gonna be like this, which is now important to understand. Let's look at this quite quick. Sometimes or some days they will come instead of giving a buy low opportunity. So this kind of trend continuation strategy, it looks at conditions. If they do this, we're gonna do that. If they pull down, we're gonna take it up. Remember, they don't have to do what we want them to do. They're gonna do what they want to do at the end of the day. So some days they can come and start doing something like this: break to the top, come, break to the top, come, and mostly we're gonna have something here called the closing price. This is where they closed the previous day. So it's important to pay close attention to what they are doing. This is now the closing. So sorry for that. So what we actually gonna be looking for is what are they doing. If they do something like this, you find that they will mostly come and bounce here and give a big engulfing candle. So this move is a sell high opportunity, and these ones are fast in collapsing, very fast and very profitable. They can come and take this low out, they can come and take this low out, they can come and take this low out, or they can go to the low of the beginning of this up move. So we just have to be smart about it. Honestly, nobody can tell you what they are gonna do or where they're gonna reach. It's something you just have to have some rules to play along with, right? So that's important. And again, if you look at this play here, you realize that mostly they'll give something like a rectangle. All right, let me just remove that rectangle and use something like this. Mostly they'll just give something like a rectangle. You see, they will break out of it, of which this is now a break of structure. This one is a break of structure where they just broke out of the rectangle. They broke out of the rectangle, they went up, touched the closing price, and that's when they collapsed heavily. So this one mostly it has the potential to come to the low of any day. It can just come to this low over here, and then it takes these guys out. Some days it can run in a course of a day, or it can run in a course of 2 days. You see, this is very important to understand. This is very important to understand. Or else they might do something like this. Please take a screenshot, because there are some things I want to wipe and I will be able to continue. Take a screenshot. Thank you. All right. Sometimes they might do something like this. You see, they might just come and play the entire day, not really give you any form of an opportunity. You see, now when you look at this day, some crucial information is given. First of all, this high is intact. This high over here is intact. You see, and this low over here, which is the low of this day, again, this low is intact. Nothing was done to these areas, right? And again, we will say we have still the same thing. On this day, we have a high and we have a low. So when they give something like this, most likely on this day they can do anything, but there's crucial information given here. This is something we call a pause, right? It's a pause. What does this mean? This means more likely they are gonna change directions. So they can just come do something like this, stop hunt these guys from yesterday, and then start playing, and that's when they collapse heavily. And as I said again, these collapsing ones are strong and they can go very far. They can come and take the low of any of these days out, or it can be just a simple drop. Could be just a simple drop. They can just come take these guys out and close somewhere here. And then now this means we are reinventing the wheel. This is the high that was made, this is the low that was made. Now we are no longer looking for a buy low opportunity. Why? Because this area here has been violated. In this case, they have not violated the high, they have violated the low. The high was just a stop hunt. That's why sometimes it's important to develop skills for differentiating between stop hunt, and breakouts. I'll talk about this later. Okay, to continue. In this case here, this was a stop hunt. How do you know? You can use this day as a reference. This day they never violated anything. They just gave us a pause, right? So this day they stopped hunted these guys and went down. And this is now a trend day. But the only difference now is that it's not to the upside, it's to the downside. Therefore, we can't honestly be now looking for a buy low opportunity. In this case, what's mostly going to be given, it's a sell high. It's a sell high opportunity. What we are waiting for is we are waiting for them to go all the way up, give us some form of a pattern during the right session, break out of it, pull back and collapse. You see, and these collapses are heavy and highly rewarding. So this is everything in a nutshell. This is everything in a nutshell. And people, we must develop the ability to see the bigger picture. See the bigger picture. Don't just see the day itself. They're giving you a trend day to the upside. You must be able to read what they have been given the previous days. You can see, if I look at it, obviously I'm going to come back with a simple story. Very easy story. They're saying come up, again, come up, again, come up. Then from here, trapped. Everybody going up is trapped. They now no longer give. You see, this day broke out. Obviously, there are people who are going to be buying here. They never give these people an opportunity to be in profits. Not even the slightest of them. You see, they are trapped. And most people are following moves, right? Most people want to confirm a trend before jumping in. So these guys are trapped there. So you can clearly see the bigger picture. You can clearly see the bigger picture. Again, if you can draw a line, you'll see that they were going up. Even the EMA will confirm this. The 21st EMA, because we are using that of 21st EMA will also confirm this, that they have been going up. Now we are on the other side. You see, even if you just draw a simple trend line like this, you'll see that now we are on the other side. So this tells you they are going down. So just be able to read the bigger picture. That's very important. I'll explain more actually in depth. All right, now we're gonna look at this asset. Let's see what happened. You see, this day they gave a trend day. Why is it a trend day? Because they broke the high. Sometimes people get confused by days when they break this high and come and close low. This day hasn't confirmed anything yet. The only information we have is that they broke the high. So them coming and closing here can be confusing. So I suggest, if something is confusing for you, let it be. There's million more opportunities you're still gonna come across. Just know that there is tomorrow. But this is a trend day. They gave a buy low opportunity, which went all the way up to the closing price again. And then what did they do? This again became a TD. Why? Because they broke this area over here. And then they pulled all the way back down. This is giving a buy low opportunity. Sometimes the retest will happen on the day itself. What did they do the next day? They gave an opportunity all the way back to the top. Again, they broke the high. This is what a TD, trend day. Again here, they came and broke this low a little bit. However, they pulled back to give what? Give a buy low opportunity. Some days like this will be confusing. But when you look at it like this, when you look at it, you realize they still came to this area over here. Buyers pushed. There's a reason prices bounced here. So when mostly you find prices bouncing on an area, there is a reason prices are bouncing there. Remember, it's a battle between buyers and sellers. And there's something sellers or buyers are seeing which is actually propelling them to actually move into a specific direction, into executing trades. Because obviously, if something is going up, buyers are winning. If something is going down, sellers are winning. So you must understand the distinction between buyers and sellers. Once you understand this, everything else is gonna be simple. Buyers and sellers. Unfortunately, there's a lot of things we must talk about, but we can't talk about everything in just 1 hour, 2 hour, 2 days. This takes years to master. Even for me, it took me years to master, right? So you must understand what happens between these two guys. Just go and do a deep research, maybe for 2 weeks. Just understanding how you see who is winning, how you see who's winning, how do you see the battle between them and all sort of stuff, how to see who is taking charge, because that information is very crucial. So this again became a TD, you see, and then all of a sudden, yes, they broke out. It's a TD, right? It's a TD. However, there is crucial information from this day that we have. If we can remove this line over here, we can clearly come and see that this day actually broke out, but they came and violated this guys here. So this is mostly in the form of a stop hunt, right? But again, it can be a sign of weakness. It can be a sign of weakness. And if they give you a sign of weakness, they are gonna actually give the opportunity the following days. You see, so on this day here, they failed to break the high. Yes, it was still a trend day, but the higher you go, you must start now looking at the bigger picture. It's not just about always taking a trend day, because you know at some point they are gonna reverse, right? So even this day, if you took it following this one, you still won. But look at this day. This day they came down to give a buy low opportunity. However, they never reached the high. Instead, they closed low. So this day is different from this day. Why? Because this day they actually broke the high. This day they broke nothing. Look at the high. The high high is intact as we have already stated. This one is intact. So yes, they came and violated the low a little bit, but look at what they did. This is now clear communication. This is now clear communication. This is now clear communication because they did not go and break the high. You see, all these other days they were violating the high, but all of a sudden they refuse. What does this tell us? This tells us that everybody who chased this move up is now trapped. Everybody who's went long around here is now trapped, right? And even if you can bring something like a line here, you can clearly see that, oh, this day turned the tables around. So this day they collapsed. Obviously, when they closed something like this, they violated the low. So this is in a way a trend day to the downside because they violated the low. Let me raise here for everybody to see. They violated the low with trending dodges. How do I know trending dodges? You must understand candlestick. You must study candles in detail because every candle bears in itself information, right? Unfortunately, most people don't want to study. They just want to watch videos and become consistent. Even with this simple to follow strategy, you still have to read other books, to put in the work, back test, to follow others and hear what they are saying, because you learn different things from different people, but the most learning will come from yourself as well. You have to put in the work. So this day we got a trend day. We were expecting what? A sell high, because tables have changed. Here when it was going up, we were actually looking for a buy low, right? A buy low, and they have been giving it. However, all of a sudden the tables have changed. Now we are looking for what? A sell high opportunity. Instead they break to the downside, right? But what they then do, they pull back to where? To the closing, to the low of previous day. Now this is not just any price behavior. No, this is crucial behavior. This is crucial price behavior. Why? Because of the area. The high, the low makes it crucial. This is very important. I'll show you a trade I took last night on Dow, and I'll tell you why I actually took it, right? This is now a very crucial area because it's the low, and this is actually an asset that moves well in Asia. But of course we know that Israel launched its attack on Iran and prices collapsed heavily, right? But this was already obvious. This was already obvious that this was gonna happen if you understand candles. Just that this happened way too early. For those who follow the Asian session, this was a dead giveaway. Look at this. Look at this. You must understand these candles. These candles tells a lot of information. I can simply interpret them. I can tell you what information these candles were giving, because see this one, and this black one. They gave crucial information before this move even began, for those who were looking during the Asian session, alright? But because there was a war, again, I can say it's not something most could have got, because even for me, when I woke up very early. I woke up around 3 a.m. and I saw that, oh, prices have been collapsing. There was somewhere around here. I just closed my charts. I looked at all the assets I've analyzed the night before, because I always analyze the night before. In my recent video, I showed you how I do that, and I also shared the document I use. So I saw that they were doing something like this, and I just closed my charts. I came back later, because when you have something big like this, you're gonna start chasing things just because they're a big move. You're gonna feel like, oh, I missed, and you're gonna start chasing. When they give something like a pullback here, you're gonna be selling, chasing, and you can blow your account with that. So I just closed everything, honestly, and I went back to bed. Why? Because I don't want to be moved by emotions. I just want to be sober. I want to be well paid, and I want to be more objective than subjective. So you see, this is the same thing we've been talking about. Understand the big picture, follow the trend. And here's the fascinating thing about this simple to follow strategy. You know, mostly books say buy, sell here, buy, pull back, sell, buy. You see, it's the same thing. Look at this. They shoot up, they pull back. 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 They shoot up. Yes, of course, at some point this is gonna reverse. And for a down one, they say sell, buy, sell here, and buy again and sell. You see, this is the futures, or these are the futures of a downtrend, right? So it's the same thing. Now let's just use another color. Sorry, everything is becoming clustered, but I just want everybody to understand this. You see, it's go down, pull back, go down, could be a pullback or a go down. But usually when you see, it's just the same thing we are using. It's just that we are using it in a different style. So this is nothing new. This has been here for ages and ages and ages. It's just that it's much easier when you look at it on a perspective of a day. It becomes more easier, because remember, we have three types of trends, right? We have have minor, we have intermediate, we have major, right? So for us, we are more focused on the intermediate, because if you go to a smaller time frame, you're gonna see a minor. For us, we are not interested in this minor ones, and you have to know that again, these types of trend can escalate to a higher level, because when you look at a monthly now, that's where we have major, and if you look at a daily, you can have intermediate, and if you look at a weekly, you can have intermediate, and when you look at a daily, you can have something like minor, but they work on different level. That's the only thing that creates all these confusions amongst people, but you have to find something you understand, really be really good at it. Okay, so when you look at this on a daily perspective, it becomes more easy to interpret, very easy to interpret, and very easy to follow, very easy to follow. So let's go to the next asset. So now if we look at this asset, obviously this is crude oil. I took it here. So let's look at this. The week opened here. Fine, we got a trend day. This is a TD. Unfortunately, I can't zoom these charts to fit properly because we had a super crazy move when Israel actually struck Iran, right? But this is a trend day. Why? Because they violated the high, right? And then here's the closing price. This day wasn't that clear because obviously by the time you come to your chart, it has already gone up without giving a proper buy low opportunity. We didn't get a proper buy low opportunity, right? So we will avoid this day. We need days that are so clear, right? But again, this was a TD. So this is clear evidence that not every TD or trend day is executable, right? But here's another one. They broke again. They came and closed low. Same thing we spoke about. But let's look. These days might be confusing for many. But again, this is the high. This is the high, right? This is the high. So they came. They gave a beautiful pattern. Outside candle. Again, just study the candles. But in this case, we obviously execute on a smaller time frame, 5 minute or 15 minute, right? But for oil, I execute on a 5 minute. Why? Because this one is more volatile. On currencies, usually I can use a 15 minute. On gold, I can use a, but on indices, I use the explosive trending strategy for indices, the second strategy we have on this channel. It's easier that way, right? So this one was executable. You see, one position takes profit here, the other one you hold till the close. Not rocket science. Easy. And then we had a trend day again. I know some days will be more extended, and when they are extended, you have to be careful, right? But again, honestly, look at this. They close so high, they come crushing. This is a buy low opportunity. I took this one on a 5 minute. If you look at a 5 minute, you will see they started playing, broke to the upside, then came up, and then it's when they gave a big candle. So they gave something like a mini pattern, broke out of it, gave a pattern, and that's where I took it. Actually, I took 2 positions on this one on a Thursday, right? So this is what we are talking about. This is all we need. One position you can hold till the close, one position you can do this. I'm not going to talk about the news because obviously this is influenced by the war. So I came here and this candle was here, and I was on a smaller time frame, but I said no, I am not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna close my charts because I don't want to end up doing things I don't understand, because you don't even know this is a move which was actually a result of the war, the ongoing war, right? So anything could have happened in that war, and that would have again influenced these prices. So I didn't want to go up down. No. I closed everything, came during the New York, and the only better one was gold in that case, and later that's when I got it down. So look at this. This is a buy low, and when you actually look at the bigger picture now, you see that it's going up, pull back, go up, pull back, go up, pull back, go up. You see, same thing. It has always been there. This information has always been there, but the bigger question is, how do you execute it? You see, it's nothing new. Structure, employment structure. You see, this is the same thing. When it's going up, it's gonna go up like this. When it's going down, it's gonna go down like this. You see, that's all we need to know. But when you look at it on a daily perspective, you see much more clear, right? So this is how you execute this one. We can look at another asset. All right, let's look at this one. So when you look at this one, what do we have? Again, as I said, this one is more confusing for many. If you find a day confusing like this, you can just let it go. So that means you could have started working from this perspective here. We got a TD, trend day, right? And then what did they do? They pulled back, came and confirmed, gave a beautiful buy low opportunity. This one was a TD again. Somebody will say I'm not talking about specific entries. I have a lot of videos on this with direct executions, right? So you can't say I'm not doing enough. So this was a TD again. What did we do? We get the following day, they came down to where? I love this. If some days are confusing, wait for the easiest one. You see this one. This one here comes to the high of this day. You must be able to project the highs of maybe a day before. ignore, because it's still a crucial area where prices are most likely gonna bounce. And then you see they gave a beautiful opportunity all the way to the top. However, the TP was hit following day. Now look, here's some other crucial information. What did they do? They broke out. I told you one thing important is to be able to distinguish between breakouts, let's just say real breakout, and stop hunts, right? Very important to distinguish between the two. What is this? This is a stop hunt, because obviously you were not looking, your TP has just been hit, and on this day they really didn't give a trend day. This is a day where if you look at it carefully, you'll realize that the high is intact and again the low is intact. We spoke about this day, remember? Okay, these are intact. So when these days are intact like this, what does it mean? This means it's a pause. This is a pause. They're paused. What does a pause give? It traps. It traps everybody going up is trapped. Remember, people are chasing this move. All of a sudden, they are trapped, right? And, all right, what do we get? A stop hunt. They stop hunt everybody who may be sold here. They stop hunt everybody. They collapse. You see, even if you didn't get this collapse, still, with it or without it, we still have crucial information. They give what? A TD this time around to the downside. You see, it's a TD to the downside. They violated the low. You see, yes, they violated the high, but in this case, look at it. It's a stop hunt. If you understand these candles again, you will understand more. You see, they break to the downside. What are we looking for the following day? We are looking for a sell high. Now you start understanding what is meant by selling high and buying low. They go all the way. They go all the way. And again here, they continue the pause, right? And we say this in our recent video. When we got something like this, some days they will give this pullback and the opportunity will be hit the following day. It's still important to look at the candles. Let me show you just something crucial we were looking for. You see, where do they come to? They came to this high, which happens to be the high of Monday. On a Wednesday, it's important to project to the high of the day before yesterday. We just say that, and that's when they bounce on this high. Again, they try to go up, but they eventually fail. That's when they collapse down. Again, the opportunity is fulfilled because now they come and give your TP. However, again, this day becomes what? It becomes a TD again. What are we expecting? A buy, a sell, sell high. Unfortunately, they now in this case use the word collapse. And I'm not saying this was a good opportunity because I didn't even take this one. It happened so fast, so early. But again, they came to take these guys out here. I saw this move when it was going up, but again, I told myself, no, I'm not going to be chasing things because there is still a possibility for them to come and bounce in the low and continue going down. And for me, risking on this area here is not good because the setup is no longer good. The setup that was good for me is already gone, you see. So there was absolutely nothing I was supposed to do, you see. So this is information we have each and every day. Each and every day, everybody sees this information. Can you interpret the big picture? Again, if you bring in, okay, if we start AD, you'll see that this line started from way lower, but you can see things are on the other side, but they have given a sign here because when they break the downside, they are telling you that there is weakness in the markets. And guess what? They say buy strength, sell weakness. This is the information everybody has. So if there is weakness, who's going to take advantage? Sellers. If there is strength, who's going to take advantage? Buyers. And we know when buyers come strong and overcome sellers, the move is going up. So whenever there is strength, most likely prices are going to go up. And when there is weakness, most likely they are going to go down. So these are some of the little informations. If you're looking at the bigger picture, this picture draws itself out clearly. Very, very clear. You see. Anyway, my charts are messed up. I'm not used to messing up charts like this, but anyway, I had to do this. And guys, I really appreciate you. And I have all these strategies outlined in the playbook in the description, right? Everything is outlined in the playbook in the description. All the strategies I use, the way I enter, everything I look for on a daily basis. I put it in a form of a PDF because some people prefer a PDF format. Just print it, study it, and know what to anticipate. Don't let emotions get into you. Playbook is in the description. You can get it there. It has the most explosive trading strategy with different kind of trends, because trends are different strategies. I'll show you in the other video because this one is already way too long. And again, it has the trend continuation strategy and it has the reversal strategy. So everything I use is in the playbook. I designed it for myself, so that's the one I use. If you want it, it's in the description. Thank you.